I always enjoy. We'll get to the word impeach before the show is done. I promise. But I always enjoy getting to come to the audience because we don't have the 12 noon listeners like some. We don't. We're getting there, but we don't. I like to come to the audience and not say, I told you so. I don't like to do that. Don't get that wrong. I don't think I can be successful here because my goal is for us to be going down the same track as far as making sure we're doing everything we can to reelect the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and drain the swamp and bring them to justice and put them in the newly remodeled Guantanamo Bay. That being said, you remember they were going to close it? Obama was going to close it. He didn't close it. He's probably saying every day, damn, I should have closed that place. Maybe he didn't close it because it's a nice vacation spot where he could be right there next to the water. Kids could come visit. Michael could come from time to time. I mean, Michelle. All right, enough silliness, okay? This is serious. So I don't like to say I told you so, but this is what I have been watching. Now, I have been putting myself, and that's what I enjoyed the Louisiana fetal heartbeat bill story this morning, is because a Democrat governor is going to sign it, and a Democrat state representative is who introduced the bill. Not going to hear that very deep. But I've been trying to put myself in Democrat shoes here lately. And I've been coming to you and saying, if I was a Democrat, if I was a Bernie Sanders, how many, if you've been to this show before, how many weeks, how many times have I done segments as Biden? When Biden got in the race, that's when I started doing segments and watching what they're doing, okay? Watching what they're doing. All right. And I've been reporting from a Democrat set of shoes that they got to be thinking this at home. They're in big trouble because their base is fracturing. Oh, absolutely. The media has done everything they can to try to get you and I and fracture Trump support, and they can't do it. They can't crack that support. But it's not reported, so don't wait for it. So if you can't take what I'm telling you, then I don't know what to do for you, because you're not going to be sitting home and watching CNN, and you're not going to be sitting home and watching MSNBC, ABC, CBS, any of these, or Media Matters websites. You're not going to see any of them talk about the Democrat base fracturing and in trouble. Because just like the 38% that they keep talking about Trump, they got to have that 38% of Democrats no matter what. And they can't stay home. When Republicans stay home, they make a big deal, right? We heard, how many times did we hear about the 6 million Republicans when Mitt Romney ran for office? You need to listen to this. Need to come back to this. We need to remember this day, Josh. And I'll tell you why. How long did we hear about the segment of Republicans that would not go vote for Mitt Romney? Remember, we heard if we'd have had those 6 million Republican voters, not independent, right? Not independent, not Democrats switching over, but Republicans that stayed home. Man, a big deal was made out of that, right? But what were we? We were tired of the establishment. We were tired of pretending our candidate was conservative. You are as guilty as anybody else for going out and campaigning for John McCain and Mitt Romney and pretending they were conservatives and they would be conservative presidents. You're as guilty as anybody that did that. I am one. We're tired of it. Mitt Romney was the straw that broke the camel's back, Mitt Romney. And then we started hearing Jeb Bush. no, you're not handing us our candidate anymore. So I know how that feels. Republicans know how you feel. Come on over and talk to us. You don't have to like Donald Trump. That's what's happening to Democrats. Now, we all know that Tim Kaine, the former, look it up, former governor of Virginia, we all know Tim Kaine made a deal, okay, that he would give up because they wanted to be able to handle the corruption, okay, and so they didn't lose. Hillary was determined not to lose, and we all know Tim Kaine, the governor of Virginia, was the DNC chair, gave that up for the vice president, the vice president spot, right? And when he gave it up for the vice president spot on the ticket, Deborah Wasserman Schultz got it, right? We all know that. We all know that Hillary had the superdelegates. There was no way Hillary was going to lose. The DNC with Deborah Wasserman Schultz, John Podesta, Donna Brazile, we know that there was no way Hillary was going to lose, because if she got to a state and she didn't win the Democrat primary, they divvied her out how many superdelegates. Bernie Sanders supporters knew that Bernie got screwed. Seth Rich got killed. Hell, there was nothing they wouldn't do to make sure Hillary won. Just saying, my opinion. So that being said, that Democrats had to come out for their voters and claim they had whitewashed all this corruption. They didn't call it that, but they have. It's cleaned up now. You don't have to worry. You know what? You don't have to worry. We're not going to do that anymore. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually get rid of all the superdelegates. No more. We're going to actually put people in place. All right? To assure. Perez, is it Tom Perez, DNC? He's gone on show after show. Where is he at? I want to ask you, he might surface, but when is that Tom Perez, the DNC chair, when is the last time you saw him on something? Remember all of that time he said that we were going to make sure, we here at the Democrat Party, we're going to make sure every candidate has a chance, equal chance to be seen and heard. That's our goal, to include everybody. You know, it's not going to happen again. All right. Not going to happen again. So, we get 20-some candidates. And I told you from day one, forget, I don't care. 23 candidates, I don't care. Watch what happens. Give me number, where's it at there? I had it here just a minute ago. Give me number 26. Now, if the ballot box, if he gets Obama'd like Hillary did, we'll see. Hillary was the front runner at one time, and she got Obama'd, okay? So if he gets Obama'd, we'll see, okay? And there's a lot of time. But right now, all right, he's the front runner, and he is surrounded with people that make sure he doesn't trip. He is surrounded by people that make sure he doesn't look in the crowd and say, "Stand up, Chuck," knowing Chuck's in a wheelchair. He is surrounded by people that say, "Don't touch that person. Shut the hell up. Don't say anything else." It's 26. Do you think, okay, now I'm not knocking certain politicians, but they've got to be in certain places, and they've got to be in certain places. But would you want to be the guy on Trump's team when he goes to one of his rallies that's standing over there going like this, tapping on your watch? 5 minutes, man. 5 minutes. We got to get in the plane, man. You don't want that job. Because, you know, I'm thinking by no fault of your own, Trump probably fires that guy every 2 weeks. Quit telling me what time it is. But not Biden. There's the guy standing over there. You've been there 26 minutes. Zip it. Zip it. It's not on the prompter. We got to go. So this guy's front runner, all right? We have shown you double-digit leads, all right? He is set up to be the man. So this morning, published 4 hours ago, and there's several articles, okay, but this one does happen to come from Bree Simonson in Fox News. Sanders supporters fearful DNC now backing Biden like it backed Clinton. Where have you heard that before? Huh? That's right. Yep. Sanders supporters fearful DNC now backs Biden like it backed Clinton. Now, lick the milk off your whiskers and listen to this one. Some supporters of the 2020 Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders say they are seeing a repeat of the Democrat National Committee's 2016 treatment of their candidate, according to a report. The Sanders supporters claim the DNC leadership is giving preferential treatment to 2020 frontrunner Joe Biden after the former vice president surged in the polls, just as they did Hillary Clinton 3 years ago, the Washington Times reported. The supporters of Sanders, a U.S. senator from Vermont, say they mistrust polls. Wow, they mistrust polls? See, they don't want this to get out. This is not top news. I mean, if a Republican decides they're going to break and run as a libertarian and get 0.0001% of the vote, they'll do panels on these shows. They'll bring talking heads in. They'll wheel them in, push them up to the table, whatever they got to do. But this is getting no airtime because I told you this was coming. Now, the Republican Party, I love. Trump hijacked the Republican Party. And then you get the ones on the talking heads. You know, you get the, Steele. What's his name? Michael Steele, former RNC chair. And you get the ones on there that, Trump hijacked the party. It's not the party, Joe Scarborough. It's not the party that I'm used to. It's not the Republican Party that I grew up with. No, we broke that. That's why we feel we understand you, Democrats. There's going to be more, but it's not going to be talked about on the news. It's not going to come up front like it would if this was Republicans. These Sanders supporters claim the DNC leadership is given preferential treatment like they did Hillary. Supporters of Sanders, the Vermont senator, say they mistrust polls. They mistrust the polls, showing Biden holding a commanding lead over the 23 candidate Democrat field. They say they may stage another revolt at the party's 2020 national convention in Milwaukee, just as they did in Philadelphia in 2016 if Biden gets nomination. Why? They may stage a revolt. I know that's top news. I know CNN is running that. I know they are. Why MSNBC must be wheeling people in to discuss this. Why they don't trust the polls. Far be it from me to be the only one that believes that black people in South Carolina do not like this pasty 76-year-old white guy. No, I don't see it. Could you see Joe Biden walking into a room of black voters and saying, yo, 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 I'm here, right? What the hell? This dude is so damn white. I mean, he's extra white. They mistrust the polls, showing Biden holding the commanding lead. They may stage a revolt. They may. Laurie Chesnick, a Sanders supporter who founded Occupy DNC, told the Washington Times they are frustrated that the mainstream media doesn't cover many of their candidates' events. Wow. The mainstream media and the DNC are colluding against the American people. That's what it feels like. It's the same thing all over again. Wow, this is a big story, and nobody's touching it. I told you. Their base is cracked. I mean, what is the old saying? Fool me once, right? Shame on me? Or something? Fool me twice, all hell breaks loose? I don't know what you say, Fool me a second time, I'm going to kick your ass. I don't know how it goes, But this is a big story, I told you. There's no possible way this guy's polling at these numbers. He has been set. He is there. He's your establishment candidate. There's a reason why. Now, I'm not taking up in no way whatsoever and advocating impeachment of the President of the United States. But let me say this. We're talking about their base. And see, that's why they're scared to death and that's why Nancy can't talk without trembling. Now, I understand the doctored video where it sounds like she had a couple vodka and tonics and then she did an interview, all right? And, did a little slurring and giggling. I understand that was altered, fixed. But the true Nancy Pelosi, her nerves are shot, okay? And I'm not making fun of her. She can't say anything without her, those hands are rattling and her nerves are shot, okay? Here we go. Now remember that picture there. I want to come right back to it. Number 10. Now we're talking about Bernie Sanders, and I know Sanders has not made the definite statement that these have, but supports impeachment proceedings. These are the declared presidential Democrat candidates that support it. Came out yesterday. Cory Booker. Now I said yesterday, you got to tell me there's more black people in South Carolina that like brother Cory Booker than the pasty old white guy. Castro, Gillibrand, Harris, O'Rourke, Moulton, and Warren. They have come out, okay? Go back to Joe. Now, unless during the time we came on the air, he has made a statement, he hasn't commented on the impeachment. Now, the reason I say that is, for their base, that's big. Now, think about our base. Flip over, take the card, flip it over. Okay, we're going down the same road. They're going down the same road. Two different things. So we're staying on base. So take our base, flip that over, stay there a minute. I mean, we have been waiting for Bob Barr, okay, William Barr to get there. We have been waiting for somebody to investigate Comey, investigate Hillary, we have been waiting. That's our base. And if our President of the United States comes out and the RNC, the Republican National Committee, come out and say, we want all of that stopped. We don't want an investigation. We don't think Hillary's crooked. We do not think Comey's crooked. We want that. You would start seeing articles where the base was fracturing. Okay, you would. You'd start seeing, that's their base. If this guy continues through the campaign and doesn't say, I mean, we have had Republican candidates that they're not pro-life, but they had to say they were pro-life. But if this guy doesn't come out soon and say he thinks that there's grounds for impeachment of the President of the United States, Joe Biden, that's the base. I told you this. They're in major trouble. They are in enormous, major trouble if this guy becomes the Democrat. Okay? And I'll end with this. If this guy becomes the Democrat nominee and he runs against Donald Trump, and if the DNC thinks that's their best chance so they can win Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, you will have a flip of 6 million people that don't come out and vote. Democrat base will not come out and support this guy. Okay? Because I'm just telling you, he will not win. There will be a landslide for Donald J. Trump because they're in big trouble. If this guy becomes the front runner, they're in a total mess. And Biden supporters are not, Bernie Sanders supporters are not happy. And I told you, this is their establishment candidate. The DNC has not changed. The DNC has not cleared up anything that they've done in the past to their voters and their supporters. The DNC could care less about you whatsoever. The DNC is treating all their voters as though you're African Americans in the center city of some run-down, filthy, nasty, urine-smelling city. That's what they think of all their voters. They could care less. They own you. They feel they own you. I know you don't like what I just said. They feel they own your vote. They feel you're going nowhere. It ain't a cold day in hell that you'll vote for Donald Trump. Well, guess what? We had that problem. We did. We fixed it. You may not like your president, but we fixed our problem. You do what you got to do. I think, Josh, we should find Democrat spots and try to get this to Democrats. I don't even think I spoke to a single Republican. I'm talking to Democrat voters this morning, whether they get mad at me or not. All right, I will take a break. 2 minutes, I promise, Josh, quick, just so I got to get one more story up, and I'll come back because we got 10 more minutes when I come back. Take us a break.